I know the bliss, I know the check, bliss, you check in the beyond. I know the bliss, I know the check, bliss, you checking the bad, bliss, you checking the bad.
Yo dog, what is up? It has been a while. I have been really struggling to come up with content ideas as of recent. Like, I don't know why. There's just nothing coming to me, and I hate posting videos that I don't like. Like, I look back at my videos from like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I just hate them. So I really don't want to be posting stuff that I'm not proud of, you know what I mean? But I do also need to keep posting because, you know, the algorithm, so we're kind of cooked. I do want to look back in on the long form videos though, because those were like what I started off doing, and I enjoyed them so much before I even did any short form content, so I want to really get back into it. Oh, right now we've got the pre-workout meal, of course, cream of rice. The mission for today is to essentially lock in. Normally, obviously at the beginning of every year, I set a bunch of goals, and I just did not really goal set properly this year. I don't know why. I was just lazy, I guess. So my plan is to sort of like do my daily stuff, as well as just kind of go through kind of goal setting with you guys and show you how I set goals, because I think setting goals is really important to achieving what you want to achieve. Like, I reached almost 10k followers by the end of last year because I goal set, you know what I mean? Like, I had the goal of posting a YouTube video every month or posting this much content every day. I ended up seeing results because I set that goal. If I never set a goal, I never would have gotten to where I am right now. I wouldn't have freaking 5,000 of you guys watching me. So I want to walk through my process with you and show you how I do it, so that we can all succeed. And for any of you wondering how the cut is going, it's a cut. It sucks. I'm not the happiest about it, but hey, we're gonna cut down, get that done, and then we're gonna freaking bulk up again. Oh, Helena, you said you want to go do a show. I'm not big enough. I'll probably never be big enough, but I still feel like I need to build a solid foundation, and I really just want to start chasing strength. I've been squatting a lot recently, and I really want like a heavy ass, like 100 kilo squat. Like, that is kind of my new goal. So with that being said, let's go gym.
I know the bliss, I know the check, bliss, you checking the beyond. I know the bliss, I know the check, bliss, you checking the bad, bliss, you checking the bad. I know the bliss, I know the check, bliss, you checking the beyond.
When it comes to setting goals, I like to write things down on paper because it does make things feel more real. I know it can be easier to keep things organized on like a laptop or your phone or whatever, so you can do that if you want, but I personally really like to just have things on a page. So over the years, I found that I really like setting sort of quarterly goals, smaller goals that you achieve every 3 months, because your goals can really severely change even with just like within 1 month. Like, something that you might want to work towards 1 month, you might not freaking care about the next month, you know what I mean? So, but firstly, if you do have bigger goals, write down your yearly goals first. So I'm just thinking if I have any goals for the year. I think my first goal for the year will be to reach 10k subscribers. We're currently at 5,000. Again, thank you guys so much. 10k subs. I think another one of my goals for the year is going to be getting some kind of sponsorship. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, but I think working towards it as a goal anyways will get me closer to where I want to be. So another thing I want to get into is online coaching. Again, that's not necessarily going to be my goal for this quarter, but I think it is something that I want to try and do this year, so I'm going to write that down. I also just started an online nutrition course, which takes about a year to complete, so ideally I get that done by this year. And something I also want to work towards, and I want to force myself to work towards, is a 100 kilo squat. So that's 5 goals for the year. You can set more if you have more bigger goals, but I like to keep these ones kind of simple, and then have my quarterly sections will have like more goals or more sort of shorter term goals in them. Now, it is already February, but quarter 1 would be January to March. So then you have to kind of think to yourself, okay, within these 3 months, what do I want to do to either progress me towards my yearly goals or do something other, like something else on the side, you know what I mean? So one of my goals for the 10k subs thing, to reach 10k subscribers, I want to post 1 long form video a week. I think it will help me kind of get more consistent with posting and then kind of build a better connection with you. So that's what we're going to write down. I also think doing that can also relate to the sponsorship goal, okay? Because building up obviously an audience relates to the sponsorship. So you see, it's already like all working in hand. So I don't want to do online coaching right now, but obviously I want to finish my nutrition course. So that nutrition course has like 13 modules. So within these next 2 months, I want to complete the first 4 modules. My goal is squatting 100 kilos. That is going to be built up over time. So I don't think I really need to focus on that necessarily in this quarter. However, I am cutting, and I do have the goal of cutting down to 65 kilos. So I am going to write that down as one of my next quarterly quests. So that's 3 goals already. Ideally, you want to do 3 or 4. You don't want to do too many because you really want to lock in and focus on these set things. I am going to write down one more though, and that's going to be working on a cookbook. I have this idea to create like a cookbook with all my creamies and maybe some other cookbooks in the future, but I really want to like have this as like a little thing for you guys. So I'm going to write that down. I'm not going to expect you to read my writing because I can't even read my own. But as you can also see, I've also got different goals for different sort of categories of life, you know what I mean? Like it's not all just one thing. We have the social media stuff, we have kind of like the work and like income stuff, and then we have the gym stuff. So you can even have goals with like your relationships, things like that. Just have different aspects of your life and work towards maybe 1 or 2 things in each aspect, and then you'll be bound to succeed, you know what I mean? I've been slacking on it a little bit, but ideally every week you again write down. Actually, I can show you a freaking demonstration. Like every week or every day I would write down sort of like my goal for each week. Like I would decide from my quests what other smaller tasks I want to work towards, and then I would keep track of how I'm progressing on it. So bro, my luck, man, the camera freaking died and I was on a roll too. Damn. I rewrote my quarterly quests up just to kind of demonstrate how I would lay it out. So again, first quarter of the page would be first quarter, then we the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. But yeah, again, I think writing small goals really helps you sort of visualize things better. And that being said, my main point was to say that despite any of this, if you're not able to speak your goals out loud, you will not achieve them. Okay, if you are embarrassed about your goals, if you care what other people think about your goals, dude, I hate to have to break it to you, but it's not gonna happen, okay? You need to fully and firmly believe in yourself, okay? Whenever I say to a freaking family member or whatever, oh, I want to bodybuild, I'm really into bodybuilding, I want to freaking get my pro card. All the time, the response is, ugh, why would you want to look like that? Why would you look like a man? You look like a man. If I was embarrassed, I would just simply recoil. I would be like, oh no, I actually don't want to get that big. I'm gonna stay this size, or I just want to be toned or whatever. Blah. No, I stand on business. I will not deny the fact that I want to be freaking jacked. I want to compete. I want to go pro. Like, I do not care what anyone else thinks about that. Same thing with posting the videos. I do not diminish my achievements, my accomplishments by 5,000 of you watching me right now. If someone says, oh, what are you, like, why are you taking that seriously? I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not taking that seriously. Oh, it's just for fun, blah, blah, blah. No, I like posting for you guys. I like making videos. I enjoy it. And building up a platform is now a goal of mine. I'm not going to freaking deny that fact. You know what I mean? If you're too afraid to speak your dreams out loud, brother, it's not going to happen. You cannot be afraid of what other people think, okay? Because you are the only person living your life, okay? Your family, your friends, freaking strangers on the street that look at you, none of them are ever going to live your life. You are the only person that's ever going to live your life, okay? And you need to understand that, okay? That doesn't mean be selfish, only care about yourself. No, because life, it's giving and taking, it's caring for the people that care for you, you know what I mean? But at that same time, you cannot spend your life caring about what other people think about you, okay? Think about your goals and your dreams, because they're your goals, your dreams. Who cares what other people think about it? It's what you want to do, okay? If you want to post on social media, but you're afraid of what your friends or your family are going to say about it, you're already cooked, you know what I mean? Like, you have to not care what other people think, and you need to be able to speak your freaking truth, dude, okay? Bro, why do I always go to like a random motivational rant every video? I'm sorry about that, but I feel like it's my message that I have to give out, you know what I mean? Because I think so many people will spend their entire lives being just like mediocre and regular and never chasing their dreams because they're afraid of what other people think. And it's so stupid, you know what I mean? Like, I think people also just don't understand that everyone out there that's achieved their goals and has done big things, they were just a small person like you, like me, working towards their goals. They just worked towards their goals. They believed in themselves, okay? The one thing that's going to get you to where you want to be is just believing in yourself, okay? And write down your goals, because again, I do think that is a big part of it. I hope that all made sense. Do feel free to ask me any questions. That being said, write down a goal, work towards it, okay? Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Let's get freaking jacked, and I love you.
Check it, check it, check it, check it.